volunteers there will help you get outfitted with the latest Bernie gear. So please go to the Bernie merch table on your way in, as you saw, by the exit. Please go over there today. So another way to support the campaign is to give $27. So this campaign is fueled by everyday hundreds of thousands of small dollar donations, not by big corporate interests or by billionaires that buy this election. So to keep us competitive, I need you all to text donate to 67760. Everybody, repeat after me. Text donate to 67760. Text donate to 67760. Text donate to 67760. All right, everybody, type it in your phone. Get out your phone, type it in your phone right now. Text donate to 67760. Thank you so much for your amazing support. And one more really, really important way for you to support the campaign from anywhere is to download the Bernie Sanders app, Burn. If you are feeling the burn, I want you to go to the App Store right now, find the Burn app, B-E-R-N, official Bernie Sanders 2020 app. When you create an account on Burn, you can help us get the word out for Bernie 2020 with your friends, your family, your neighbors, and talk to people in your community. Doing it's super simple through the app. With your help, we will be able to mobilize millions of people on Election Day and build the greatest, largest grassroots electoral movement in the history. So, only with all of your help can we elect Senator Bernie Sanders as the next president of the United States of America. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Karen Bernal, former chair of the California Democratic Party, Progressive Caucus, and advocate for climate change. Please also welcome Eric Sunderland, 8-year regional director of the California Democratic Party and founder of Sacramento for Bernie.
Sacramento, beautiful troublemakers! Are you ready to rumble? Let's kick this thing off! But before we exalt in the promise of a future to believe in, let us say, we have had enough. Enough of a heartless corporatocracy which trades in racism, disparity, and injustice. Enough of policies which see more go to militarism, incarceration, fossil fuel industries, corporate CEOs, and less to public education, healthcare, and the environment. The greedy and rightward shift of politicians due to ever-increasing corporate influence has resulted in an unacceptable price. Poverty, crushing student debt, assaults on human rights, including health care, the right of seeking asylum, and today, something on many minds, our environment. Today, our lungs, our lives, our planet are on fire. At this very moment, the Amazon rainforest is on fire, and the largest city in the Americas, Sao Paulo, day became night as it was overtaken by smoke just 2 days ago. In just 4 days, over 9,500 fires have been recorded. In NorCal, we know many who have lost everything, including lives, in the Tubbs Carr Valley camp and other fires. This human-made crisis has brought destruction and misery like we've never seen, including climate refugees. This will continue to happen unless we stop this terrifying trend. I just came from Chico, where a CSU professor noted the fire in Paradise outstripped any prediction they had. coming 10 years ahead and 10 times larger. Today, Senator Bernie Sanders unveiled the only climate change that can truly be called revolutionary, and it is the only one that will simultaneously help solve the crisis and create millions of good-paying union jobs. It is the only one that puts frontline, including indigenous and people of color, at the table with an approach that is centered in true social justice. Bernie Sanders' Green New Deal will take on the fossil fuel industry while providing a just transition to industry workers. We are done with politicians acting like industry reps. We are calling for the return of our democracy, and that's why we are working for the only champion who kicks ass for the working class and loves the planet that they live on, Bernie Sanders. We are at a crisis point, and everyone here knows we must alter the course we're on if we're going to bring compassion, sanity, solidarity, justice, and dignity back to our humanity. Let's send the message that we are done with the capitulations and triangulation and politics as usual. Let's work to send the only candidate who is unbought and unbossed, and let's fight our way all the way to the White House. Neighborhood by neighborhood, street by street, door by door, person to person in every conceivable way. That's how we're going to win. This time California counts, y'all. So Sacramento, let's get busy and let's make Senator Bernie Sanders President Bernie Sanders. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Eric Sunderland, and it's another beautiful day in Sacramento. I'm a community organizer who fights every day in Sacramento and up and down this state for social justice, criminal justice, economic justice, and racial justice. If there's justice to be had, we are fighting for it. In 2015, my friend Dara and I started Sacramento for Bernie. We organized a rowdy bunch of social justice advocates who saw and understood the need to break from the status quo in order to bring real change to our community. We started small, talking to people at farmers markets and on college campuses to get the word out about a candidate that is ready to do what it takes to build a new future for this country. A candidate who's ready to cancel student debt, invest in solutions that will save us from climate catastrophe, and guarantee health care for everyone. And no matter where we were, we met people who believed in his message and got involved with the movement to elect Bernie Sanders as President of the United States. You've seen us at the Oak Park Farmers Market, at the Arden Fair Mall, right here at Cesar Chavez Park. We've been at it for a few years now, and we're not going to stop until he's in the White House. We don't do this work because Bernie stands with us. Bernie stands for everything. We do this work because Bernie stands with us. Bernie stands for everything we fight for every day, whether he's running for office or not. Because Bernie is the best community organizer of all of us. It's just like Bernie says, it's not me, it's us. Sacramento for Bernie is here. We still have the same goal to elect Bernie Sanders for president. We want you to get involved. Will you join us? I can't hear you. Will you join us? This movement is you. This movement is us. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Joaquin Chavez, member of CWA Local 9119 and VP of UPTI, where he has fought for better working conditions and pay.
Well, thank you so much, sisters, brothers, siblings. My union of 16,000 workers at the University of California fought for the last 2 years and went on strike 5 separate times for a contract. UC is not an easy employer to negotiate with. They tried to break the retirement that we have worked for decades to build up. They tried to take away our rights to file grievances for sexual harassment. They tried to convince us that these things were not worth fighting for and that we would not win them if we tried. Working people are used to being abandoned by their political leaders. Disappointment is a familiar feeling. When we were alone, when we most needed help, who showed up for us? We asked every presidential contender at the time, will you stand with us? You know who answered that call. That's right, Senator Bernie Sanders. And he didn't just show up, he brought an army of supporters with him. That's the difference in the candidate that he is and the president that he will become. He didn't just show up to the fight this year. He's been fighting for working people, for broader justice his entire life. Well, this month I'm proud to say that UPTI finally won the best contract in our history, with no concessions to the university's agenda of privatization and cutbacks. It was a long fight, but it paid off in so many ways, not the least of which was it enabled us to express a greater purpose and a sense of solidarity in our lives. And that's what Bernie's Workplace Democracy Initiative is all about. It's about transforming our society by giving workers the tools to fight as a movement and to win. That's how, when he's president, we will double union membership in this country. That's how we will protect pensions for all workers. That's how we will fight and win justice for immigrants on the job. That's how the long advance of corporate power in this country will finally come to an end. Are you all ready to bring that fight? All right, thank you so much.
Please welcome to the stage, Sammy Nunez.
What's up, Sacramento? What's up, Northern California? Are you hot? Can you feel the heat? Can you feel the burn? Then you're fired up. I'm fired up. I'm fired up. I'm fired up. I'm fired up. Greetings and peace and solidarity, relatives. Aho, Ashe, Amen, Assalamu alaikum. We come in peace. My name is Samuel Nunez. I'm from Stockton, California. I'm formerly incarcerated and represent the currently incarcerated and those who have been formerly incarcerated. I represent the legacies of pain, struggle, resistance, and liberation of all prisoners waking up in the cell this morning. They tried to bury us by decades of laws and policies intended to divide, criminalize, and deny resources to our communities. They have created roadblocks between communities of color and opportunities to reach their full potential. They try to bury us by racist policies that produce poverty, violence, insecurity, and trauma. They try to bury us by destabilizing and marginalizing communities of color. The war on drugs was a war against my people. The war on drugs was a war against our people. They try to bury us with a system that profits off our pain and suffering of our communities. They try to bury people of color and poor people, people who have been impacted by our country's racist and harmful policies and structures that have been traumatizing one generation after the next. From slavery to Jim Crow to the new Jim Crow, the prison industrial complex for profit. They tried to bury us, but they didn't know we were seeds. As formerly incarcerated people, we resisted, and still we rise. Here in California, we are leading the way to dismantling these ineffective and harmful policies led by formerly incarcerated people. Prop 47, Prop 57, and closing down youth prisons. And still, we rise. We are now leading the way in undoing those policies and systems and creating community-led initiatives that provide opportunities for healing and thriving. Still, we rise. We will push up on these policies that were established to disempower and destabilize our communities, and we put into effect generations ago and prevailed from one generation to the next. The Prisoner Bill of Rights, Bernie's Prisoner Bill of Rights, is not just about prisoners. It's about our relatives. It's about my brother. It's about my sister. It's about your family, our neighbors. It's about all of us. It's about power, not profit. It's about people, not punishment. It's about books, not bars. It's about communities, not cages. Closing youth prison and building youth leaders. We need policies like Bernie's policies that promote programs that create real safety, healing, and thriving from intergenerational trauma. Equitable distribution of resources and moving funding away from this punishment system towards community-based systems, and ultimately the liberation of our people. We need to rise up and organize. We have been disenfranchised for far too long, oppressed, and just treated with utter disparity. It's a moral and social imperative to take a stand and rise up to make sure that our people have equal access and opportunity to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This has been elusive for our people. And for long before the creation of prisons, this is our objective. It is time for a revolution. Now is the time to reclaim our destiny, reclaim democracy, reclaim our communities, and reclaim our babies through a radical revolutionary shift. The criminal injustice system transcends, and their issues transcend any single issue campaign. Our liberation is tied to the liberation of our relatives in incarceration, our women, transgender, non-gender conforming individuals, the undocumented community, Muslim individuals, all people in the struggle who have been pushed to the margins. We can no longer stand idly by on the sidelines. We have to get into the fight. We have to get into the struggle. We look up. We lock up more people in the country. California must lead in this campaign. Our vision needs to be bold, so we are here to say it is time to make history. The formerly incarcerated community surrounds the state and the nation, but we come in peace. With the demand for humane treatment of formerly incarcerated, we will mobilize the vote and choose the next president of the United States of America, Bernie Sanders. We are all in. We are all in. Who's in? Who's in? Who's in? Put your fist in the air if you feel me. That's right. Peace. I'm going to invite Jane Sanders up to the stage. Help me welcome Jane Sanders, the next First Lady of the United States of America.
Whoa. Hello, Sacramento. This is a huge crowd. Thank you all for coming out. We are so pleased to be here in California. We were just in Paradise this morning, in Chico. We're here in Sacramento now. We'll be in San Francisco tomorrow. I've been following my husband around for quite some time, actually. But through California just now and during the last week in Iowa, been hearing about new exciting policies on criminal justice reform, on labor policy, on Native American policy, and today on the Green New Deal. I am so happy to be able to introduce a man that I admire and respect, and he still impresses me when I listen to him, because each time, it's not just about the policies. It's not just about the thoughts and the well thought out programs that he wants to do, the way he wants to transform this society. It's the heart. It's the fact that he is in this not just to become the President of the United States. He's in it to help improve the quality of life for every one of us. Thank you. I love you too. So without further ado, let me introduce the man that I love and admire, Bernie Sanders.
Whoa, a lot of people here. Thank you, Sacramento. Let me thank La Tour Soul for their music. Let me thank Karen Bernal. Let me thank Eric Sunderland, Joaquin Chavez, Sammy Nunez, and not least of all, a woman who has been on my side for the last 38 years, my wife, Jane. This campaign is about a number of things. First of all, it is obviously about defeating the most dangerous president in American history. And I'm here this evening to ask for your help to win the Democratic primary in California. I am here to ask your help to win the Democratic nomination. I am here to ask your help to defeat badly Donald Trump. But I am here this evening to ask something more of you. What makes our campaign a different type of campaign is that we not only want to win this election, we want to transform America. We want a political revolution. And we understand, and what the message of our campaign is about, is it is not me, but us. Because we understand that to transform this country, it is not just good enough to defeat Trump, but we have to take on Wall Street. We have to take on the insurance companies. We have to take on the drug companies. We got to take on the fossil fuel industry. We have to take on the prison industrial complex. We have to take on the military industrial complex. We got to take on the whole damn 1%. So what makes this campaign different? What makes this campaign different is the understanding that no president, not Bernie Sanders or anybody else, can do it alone. In these unprecedented times, we need an unprecedented political movement. We need millions of people from Vermont to California standing up and making it clear to the corporate elite that this country belongs to all of us, not just wealthy campaign contributors. And when we talk about a political revolution, what we are saying is that in this dangerous and unprecedented moment in American history, it is too late to just nibble around the edges. Now is the time for profound change in our economy, in our healthcare system, in climate change, in immigration reform, in criminal justice reform. And to make damn sure that it is women in this country who control their own bodies, not politicians. We need to develop a sense of outrage. In America today, it is not acceptable to me that we have 3 people who own more wealth than the bottom half of American society. It is not acceptable that the top 1% owns more wealth than the bottom 92%. It is not acceptable that at a time when tens of millions of people are working for starvation wages in America, when half of our people are living paycheck to paycheck, that 49% of all new income goes to the 1%. So today we say to the billionaire class, whether you like it or not, we're going to create an economy that works for all of us, not just a few. Over the last 30 years, we have seen a massive transfer of wealth from the middle class to the people on top. Over the last 30 years, the top 1% have seen a $21 trillion increase in their wealth, while the bottom 50% have seen a decline in their wealth. Together, we're going to end that disparity. We are going to create a healthcare system which guarantees healthcare to all of our people, not make $100 billion in profit for the healthcare industry. We are going to end the absurdity of 87 million people in this great country being uninsured or underinsured. We are going to end the embarrassment of being the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all people as a human right. In America, when you get sick, you have a right to go to the hospital or the doctor's office. In America, when you end up in a hospital, you should not be one of the 500,000 Americans who go bankrupt. Now, the healthcare industry last year made $100 billion in profit. Within that, the drug companies who charge us the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs made $69 billion in profit. So we say to the healthcare industry that the function of healthcare is not to make huge profits for the wealthy. It is to guarantee health care to every man, woman, and child through a Medicare for all single-payer system. And let me be very clear. Let me be very clear what a Medicare for all system means. And not a radical idea. It exists in Canada. It exists in countries all over the world. And that means when you get sick, you go to any doctor you want. You don't take out your wallet. You don't take out your credit card. No premiums, no deductibles, no co-payments, no out-of-pocket expense. Healthcare is a human right. And if you end up in the hospital with a $200,000 bill, your family is not going to go bankrupt because you're going to walk out of that hospital without any cost at all. Now, the healthcare industry will spend likely hundreds of millions of dollars trying to defeat Medicare for all. But I've got news for them. The American people are sick and tired of a dysfunctional healthcare system. Poll after poll tells us people want Medicare for all, and that is what we are going to deliver. But it is not just a corrupt economy. It is not only a dysfunctional healthcare system, it is a political system today which is rotten to its core. And the reason why we don't have Medicare for all, the reason why we have such massive income and wealth inequality is because we have a political system today which allows billionaires to buy elections and suppress the vote. So what we together are going to do is we're going to overturn Citizens United. We're going to move to one person, one vote. We're going to move to public funding of elections. And we're going to tell those cowardly Republican governors that you're no longer going to suppress the vote. And I say to those governors from the bottom of my heart, if they are too cowardly to participate in free, fair, and open elections, they should get the hell out of politics and get another job. And when we talk about the future of America, we're going to talk about fundamentally changing the way we do education in America. I want every working class family in this country to be able to find high quality, universal, and affordable child care for their kids. We're going to pump substantial sums of money into public education. We're going to raise teachers' salaries to at least $60,000 a year. We are going to respect and appreciate those educators who teach and grow our kids. And I'll tell you what else we're going to do. We're going to say to those kids in the 5th grade or the 6th grade that if you study hard and you do well, regardless of the income of your family, you are going to be able to get a higher education because we're going to make public colleges and universities tuition free. And I'll tell you what else we're going to do. In a nation that bailed out the crooks on Wall Street, in a Congress that gave over $1 trillion in tax breaks to the top 1% and large profitable corporations, if we can do that, we can cancel all student debt in this country. In America today, every one of us should be ashamed of the broken and racist criminal justice system that now exists. The United States of America should not have more people in jail than any other country on earth. We should not have a situation where this evening some 200,000 people are in jail for the crime of being poor and not being able to afford bail. We're going to put an end to cash bail and debtors' prisons in America. We are going to put an end to the destructive war on drugs, because we are going to decriminalize and legalize marijuana in America. Instead of building more jails and having more incarceration, we are going to invest in our young people in job training and education. And when people get out of jail, we're going to make it sure and possible for them to be reintegrated into society. We have a president today who seems to enjoy being a bully and demonizing the undocumented in this country. And I would remind this president, and I say this as the son of an immigrant, immigrants built this country. And the immigrants today are doing some of the dirtiest, hardest, low-paying work in America today. So instead of demonizing immigrants and undocumented people, instead of trying to divide us up by the color of our skin or where we were born or our religion or our sexual orientation, we are going to bring our people together. We're going to pass comprehensive immigration reform and a path toward citizenship. We are going to provide on our first day, through an executive order, restoring the legal status of the 1.8 million young people in this country eligible for the DACA program. And we are going to develop a humane border policy. People who travel, women who travel 1,500 miles with their children over a torturous and dangerous path. These are not criminals. These are people fleeing violence and poverty, and they must be treated with humanity and respect. This morning, I was in a community that all of you are familiar with. It's called Paradise, California. And I was there to remind the people of this country what climate change is about. Sadly, we have a president who is ignoring science, a president who thinks that climate change is a hoax. So today we tell this president, climate change is not a hoax, it is a threat to the entire planet, and we are going to address that threat. The scientific community has told us that we have fewer than 12 years, not a lot of time, to transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. I have just introduced a program today. It is the most sweeping climate change program in the history of this country. It is a program that understands that we as Americans cannot turn our backs on this crisis, that in fact we have got to lead the entire world in a new energy direction. And when we do that, we create 20 million new jobs in America, because we are going to invest in energy efficiency. We are going to make our buildings much more energy efficient. We are going to invest massively in wind, solar, and other sustainable energies. And we are finally going to hold the fossil fuel industry accountable for their actions. It is beyond my comprehension that you have people in the industry who understand what they are doing. For their short-term profits, they are prepared to destroy this planet, and we are going to put a stop to that. We have a moral responsibility to make certain that the planet we leave our kids and our grandchildren is a planet that is healthy and is habitable. This is not a question of what we have to do. This is a question of whether we have the courage to take on the greed of the fossil fuel industry, and together we will do just that. Brothers and sisters, I wish that I could come before you and tell you that, we can make some minor changes over here and a few little changes over there and things would be okay. I wish I could tell you that, but if I told you that, I would be lying to you. We need fundamental changes in the way we do politics in America, the way we do economics in America, the way we do energy in America, the way we do criminal justice and immigration reform in America. Thank you. We are, as all of you know, or you wouldn't be here tonight, we are in a pivotal moment in American history. And you, and you, and you, and millions more will determine not only what happens to our country, but literally what happens to the world. The stakes we are playing for are nothing less than the future of this planet. This is the wealthiest country in the history of the world. 500,000 Americans should not be sleeping out on the streets tonight. This is the wealthiest country in the history of the world. Half of our people should not be forced to live paycheck to paycheck. This is the wealthiest country in the history of the world, and CEOs do not deserve to make 300 times more than their employees. This is the wealthiest country in the history of the world, and Amazon and other large profitable corporations will begin to start paying their fair share of taxes. This is the wealthiest country in the history of the world, and we do not need to spend more on military affairs than the next 10 nations combined. So together we are going to change the priorities of this country. And I want you to think big, not small. And I want you to think of a nation in which when you get sick, you go to the doctor regardless of your income. I want you to think about low-income people in America, knowing that if they do well in school, they are going to be getting all of the education they need. I want you to think about an America where we will get the terrible yoke of student debt off of the back of tens of millions of our people. I want you to think about an America in which we are getting people out of jail, not putting more of them into jail. I want you to think about an America in which we are not divided up by the color of our skin or where we came from, but where we stand together for economic, social, racial, and environmental justice. I want you to think about a political system, not one in which billionaires buy elections, but one in which we have the highest voter turnout of any major country on earth, a vibrant democracy. So what this campaign is about, it is about finally telling the 1% that the working class of this country is sick and tired of being trampled on. Sick and tired of low wages. Sick and tired of not being able to afford health care. Sick and tired of not being able to send their kids to college. Sick and tired of spending 50% of their limited income on housing. So we've got a lot of work in front of us. And I need to win here in California because the candidate who wins here in the largest state in the country will, in all likelihood, win the nomination. And when we win the nomination, we're going to have to work like hell. But we will defeat, and defeat badly, the President of the United States. And we are going to end, once and for all, the racism, the sexism, the homophobia, the xenophobia. And then after we win the election, our job has just begun. I'm going to come back here to Sacramento. And I'm going to ask your help to stand with me when we break up the large financial institutions on Wall Street. I'm going to ask for your help when we tell the insurance companies that we are moving to Medicare for all. When we tell the pharmaceutical industry we're cutting drug prices in half. When we tell the military-industrial complex we're cutting back on military spending. When we tell the prison-industrial complex we are ending private prisons and detention centers in America. When we tell the employers of America we're going to raise that federal minimum wage to $15 an hour, and we're going to make it easier for workers to join unions. And I'm going to need your help in telling the fossil fuel industry that their short-term profits are not more important than the future of this planet. So, brothers and sisters, are you with me for a political revolution? Are you with me? Are you with me in taking on Trump and the ruling class of this country? Are you with me in creating an economy and a government that works for all of us and not just the billionaire class? All right, we've got a lot of work in front of us, but at the end of the day, let me conclude by making one point, and that is the 1% in this country, they have enormous wealth and they have enormous power. But at the end of the day, 1% is 1%. And the last that I heard is 99% is a hell of a lot more people than 1%. So let us go forward together. Let us win this election. Let us transform this country. Thank you all very much.